It's time to take action. Balanced life, happy life, a better way. Strategies to launch your business. This is video E. All right, so hello again. And in this video, I want to provide you with specific information on some strategies to launch your business, what you need to do, how to get prepared, and then, of course, actions and activities. This is video E, strategies, and it's the fifth video within the series of the six videos. And you probably watched the first four videos, and this is the next one, and then there'll be one more after this. You want to watch all of them, and you may want to watch them again so that you have a complete understanding of what you need to do to prepare and then get started and then launch your business. All right, let's talk about strategy. Strategy, by definition, is a method of how one is going to get a plan done. So in our case, we have several directions that you can take. The key here is circumstances and your situation. Now, what needs to be looked at and understood? Well, number one, your knowledge and understanding. You know, what this is, how it works, all that kind of good stuff. And we've talked about that extensively. Number two is your available time to do this. And number three would be your desire to reach the objective that you're going after. So you can learn how to do this. That's pretty easy. Realize that it does take some time, and the more you can put into it, the quicker you can reach your objectives, and that just makes sense. And then finally, you must really, really, really want what you're after, and it must be important. And so important that you go the extra mile to get it because it's what it takes to get it done. Necessity is the mother of invention, just like anything else in life, and that's how we want to operate. So let's continue on. Contacts. People you can talk with. You now know that you'll achieve your objective if you talk to enough distributors and enough distributors join your business and you create leaders and volume and when you develop your customer base. I mean, basically build the business. The common theme to this is you start by contacting other people. And here are some basic suggestions to use to get the ball rolling. Now, you have your personal contacts. And in that group of people, there could be people that need some products. There could be people that have a need to build a business. So you'll just make a list of kind of people. You have business associates, people that you know that are in a business, work for somebody else, those kind of things. Neighbors, advertising. There are many ways to advertise. Social media today is very popular. It takes a little bit longer, but again, it's another route that you can take. And then when you're out and about, you run into people, and those can become great contacts. And of course, you've got local merchants you frequent, and there are all kinds of techniques with utilizing any of these particular areas to contact. But this is just the beginning. Now, remember what your job is, and that is to find out what others need and or want, and then present what you have as a potential solution if that works for what you found out. So rather than push your product or just, hey, I want you to join my business, you got to find out if there's a need. If there's a need, it's easy. If there's no need, it's a little bit more difficult. We'll explore that as we move forward. Now, when it comes time to start your business, the key is to find people to talk with. Makes perfect sense. Now, if we look at our markets, there's no shortage of people. And that's a really good thing. However, you need a focused approach as to who and how you will find people to talk with. Now, the next step is to make yourself known for what it is you do or represent. And now, this poses an interesting thought. What is it that you do? Now, I found one of the keys to attracting attention from the onlookers is to talk about something that creates interest, or it's exciting, or it's a relief, or it's some kind of a solution to a problem. That always piqued other people's interest. Now, from here, the next step is to find out what these folks need and or want. And here I observed that asking questions in specific directions gave the answers that would move the conversation forward rather than create the I'm not interested. So, for example, an individual who knows that water is important and they find out that you offer the best water products available, and you start to communicate that, there's a really good chance that they'll buy your product. Similarly, if someone felt that they were not getting ahead and needed to earn more or create a side hustle, something like that, and you asked them if they'd be interested in earning, say, an extra couple of grand a month, what do you think might happen? A serious conversation could take place. And this is why it is so important for you to know and understand how the business works, what has to be done so that you can then show them and present solutions. Again, remember what your job is to present solutions, not sell what you've got. So I've observed many times that when someone sees this as a potential workable solution to their situation in life, they go for it. All right. Now, preparing to launch your business. Here's some pieces of information that you might find valuable. Number one, what's your goal? Where are you going? What are you after? And you got to have a plan. In other words, it's not loosey-goosey, it's specific, it's directed. This is a business and this can generate tremendous benefits, so we want to pay attention. You've learned all about the products and the business plan. So you have your resources for your product testimonies, your product information, all of that stuff, your price list. So you know how to talk about the products and you have a good understanding of the compensation plan and how it works. You now know what events you can use and you have all the tools and products to demonstrate. Very key point. And this is your business. You have your list of business that you want to talk about the business with, and you have your list for the products and the people that you want to talk to about that. Now, the next part is you have your approach on what to say. This is really important. And I found that many people have a stumbling block here. So, you sit down and you create a story and a presentation of how you want to talk with others about this, and you practice that. And once you practice it enough times, then it becomes second nature. Now, your sponsor or mentor is ready to help you, and you want to make sure that's been arranged, and then to help with meetings and or to do ABCs. Utilize your support system. That's what they're there for. And you are ready to launch your business now. Okay, so there's a number of ways that you could launch your business. And the next question is how are you going to launch your business? So let's explore some ideas. Today, one of the key issues is instability and the ability to predict the future, especially costs and taxes, the economy. I mean, it's causing great stress on most people in our society. Now, the idea of developing an distribution business is a potential solution that can go on for a very long time. I mean, I've been doing this for over 35 years. Now, this is done with customers and other distributors. Now, Niken deals in basic life-supporting products and technologies that will always be an important part of living for most. And the key to marketing these products and the opportunity is based on finding out what others need and what they want, and then presenting either the products or the business opportunity as a solution if that's what comes up. Now, using this method has been proven to be very effective, and it's a great way to generate income in both short-term and long-term situations. Strategies then become very important to becoming successful. This is why you want to work with a mentor and a good upline and use your support group to gather the strategies and listen to what's been done so that you can then develop the way that you're going to go about doing this. Now, one example is to have gatherings at your home. You get a picture here of this, and where you have products to show and demonstrate. You invite your sponsor to come and give you help with the meeting, and your job is to invite as many people as you can, and you listen and learn, and this is repeated several times. Now, having been involved in this concept, Strategy, a distributor, created 3 goals, and then she reached platinum just on that basis of having meeting after meeting after meeting in her home. And it was a comfortable approach, and it was very exciting. So there's one aspect of how you go about doing this. Another example from a distributor who had lots of business contacts was the drop-by approach. And he made some calls, set up meetings So to go visit these people, drop by, and he and the sponsor talked with them about the business, created interest. The activity was repeated over and over. In the process, found three people who joined him. And they went silver, and this launched his business, and he reached gold in short order. Now, the results that were generated were based on the number of times the idea was presented. And if we look at society, not everybody's doing great, not everybody's doing what they want, not everybody's satisfied, and there are plenty of people that are looking for other things to do to get to where they want to get to, and that's the whole idea. And the ABC method was used. This strategy, especially in a long distance relationship, is using Zoom to make presentations with the sponsor. The new distributor invites guests to the Zoom meetings, and then the sponsor or the mentor makes the presentation to create interest. And these meetings are scheduled as often as possible to create interest and find new distributors. A distributor using this process created 15 new distributors in another country, and three of them reached silver using the rhythm events, using the Zoom events, and that they were all very, very helpful. Now, the ABC technique is where A is the expert, U are B, and C is the potential new distributor. And the idea of this strategy is to line up people to talk with the expert A and you B, and this is called an ABC or three-way. This, by the way, is used in all industries I've ever been involved with. Everybody uses this method because it's great. And it can be done on the phone, it can be done in person, it can be done on Zoom, and it's a very effective way of creating interest for a new potential distributor and learning great experience from listening and participating. So the person that's the expert has all the answers. You as a new person may not. And you want to get your new person excited. Well, the best way is have that person talk to somebody that has the knowledge and the experience, and this is why this works. And this is especially effective where everybody is at a distance. So by using a phone or Zoom, you can get the job done. Now, most successful distributors use this strategy. The key to this working is based on the interest of the guest. Now, this is an important point. You talk to somebody and, just pushing them to go on a Zoom or a three-way call sometimes can work, but it works best when they have an interest to learn more. And I have observed this technique used in many industries and is most effective with somebody truly interested in finding out more. The whole idea here is to use the technology that has been known and proven to work, and this will help you reach your goals. Now, here's kind of a schematic of this. A knows B, B knows C, B introduces C to A presents to C, B listens and learns. So it's a very effective way to make this work. And again, something that we do all the time. Now, I think you get the idea of there are many different methods that can be used to getting the job done than there are individuals doing it. The key is to know what needs to be done, what has to be worked before, and then apply that and figure out what works best for you. And this is done by monitoring all of your results based on what you do and when you start to see stuff working. Then really push that until you reach your goal. If your activities are not working, then get with your mentor and do some tweaking to change things. Now, in the beginning, when I started, I didn't know what to do really about this particular product line. And so I approached people about the product, and that was a slow go for me. And I was interested in bigger things. So I found a mentor and talked to him about what to do. And when I realized that there were plenty of people who had similar needs as to what I did and what I needed, I then focused on developing my story and learned what to say to present and provide that viewpoint, that information, so that allowed those that I spoke with to learn and gain an understanding. Now, not everyone joined or built a huge business, but here's the results. Enough did. And over time, this became my life's work. And that's what we're talking about here. Okay, this is the end of section E. Move on to the final video, section F, and we'll see you there.